What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. The folks over at Bud Light are not having a wonderful day. In fact, they've begun scrubbing old tweets off of their timeline, which is very interesting. This on the back of, yet again, their biggest downfall since the beginning. It's a cultural phenomenon that Bud Light continues to spiral, even this far down the line. Certainly they thought it would be over by now, but it is not, my friends. Bud Light's latest sales continue to be embarrassingly bad, this via Outkick. The Anheuser-Busch beer brand has been on a heavy decline ever since the idiotic decision to team up with, of course, the Dylan. Sales were down 28.5% for the week ending June 17th compared to the same period last year, according to data from Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ. That's even worse than the 26.8% it suffered last week. And it's actually a pretty big jump. It's 2 percentage points, or 1.7 percentage points. It's a really big jump. And why? Well, because they just won't accept, acknowledge, apologize. They won't do anything. They just are floundering, sitting there, just sinking in their own wokeness. By the way, did you check out my non-woke coffee brand yet? Coffee Brand Coffee. We have nearly 20 different coffees, K-Cups, 15 organic teas, real cacao cocos. We're right here in the United States. I would love to earn your business. Promo code FlavorBurst should save you 10% because we just launched a bunch of new flavors on cold brew bags. We also launched our very first flavored K-Cup for the K-Cup people. Our blueberry cobbler we're pre-ordering. That starts shipping in July. We launched orange creamsicle as a flavor. It's just businesses just growing and growing because of all of you. And on promo code FlavorBurst, save 10%. And I really hope I could earn your business today. Bud Light wasn't the only beer under the AB umbrella bleeding out thanks to company going woke. Budweiser is down 12.3%, Busch Light down 8.1%, and Michelob Ultra is down 4%, according to the same data. Meanwhile, rival beers are crushing it right now. Yuengling beer is up 25%. Miller Lite up 16%. Coors Light up 21.8%. Which is under the AB umbrella, has outsold, by the way, Modelo, which is under the AB umbrella, has outsold Bud Light ever since May, according to the same report. Bud Light's pain is a victory for everyone else. Shout out Yuengling. I mean, a 25% increase in sales, and all they had to do was not be dumb. All they had to do is not be woke, not get woke, not lecture their customers, not insult half of their customer base. That's literally all they had to do. All they had to do was sell the beer. Nobody's buying Bud Light because it's the best tasting product they have ever had. It's affordable and it's available. That's like 2 of the 3 core tenets to beer. Well, 2 of the 2 real ones. If you live in rural areas, I mean, people don't drink Busch Light because it tastes amazing. Seriously, how much longer can this go on before someone steps up from AB and just apologizes? Consumers are going on 3 months of unrelenting pressure on Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Sales continue to plummet. It's not a small dip. Sales are down nearly 30% from this time last year, and the stock price is down more than 15%. It's a brutal situation for the company, and that's what happens when you get woke. And interestingly enough, here's a new tweet from Bud Light. And here's how I know it isn't an old deletion, because they have the yellow brand tick mark. So which means it's not like an old screenshot. It's from new Twitter, because the yellow check mark thing is new. Hey Bud Light, why'd you delete this just now? And it's an old tweet from April 4th, 2018 saying, "Stay woke." And by the way, what's interesting is it only had 17 likes. Nobody would have ever, nobody liked it back then, but nobody was even looking at their Twitter. This would have been probably one of the biggest all-time ratios in history after it gets discovered. I mean, it's a tweet from 5 years ago. Let's just check in on the latest tweets. Of course, guess who's back? The Bud Knight. Still just 1,000 likes with 5,000 replies. Here for the hidden replies. Reality, what does it mean? Dylan, did you put Dylan in armor? All this stuff just getting crushed. And by the way, they've stopped tweeting. I mean, I don't know if they just kept thinking they were going to be able to tweet through it. If you're going to tweet through it, like I've suggested they have to do, you've got to keep going. You've got to literally let people punch themselves, out. Let them get gassed from constantly commenting on every one of your tweets, and then people will get sick of it. Bud Light sales reach new weekly low following the Dylan fiasco. Sales of Bud Light suffered their steepest weekly drop yet since the beer brand launched its disastrous tie-up with Dylan Mulvaney. In the week ending June 17th, sales of the brand fell by an eye-popping 28.5% versus a year ago. This eclipses the 26.8% decline, which beat the previous week's fall. So 3 straight weeks, the sales drop has gotten worse. I mean, I don't really... At some point, someone's getting fired, right? Either that or somebody on like the board of directors is just like, all right, you're just, we know what's going to happen. You just got to take your lumps. Whatever happened to those marketers who are quote unquote on leave? It's been 3 months. I mean, are they ever coming back? No, they're not, because they were fired. They just felt like from a PR perspective, if they fired them, it would look way worse. But the fact that they just put them on leave, that's a whole different, safer thing to do. By the way, I have the biggest announcement in my career this afternoon. I think I'm going to do it at 2 p.m. Central Time, either at 2 or 4, but I think it's going to be 2. I'm just lining some other stuff up, so I hope that you'll tune in. It'll be the next video after this, I think, so I hope you'll check that out. Bud Light's sister brands under Anheuser-Busch umbrella also experiencing lagging sales in the 7-day period, which ended June 17th, according to the data. I mean, it's insane. The Post saw a comment from Anheuser-Busch. Despite the bleak news, Bud Light remains the most popular brand in the country, despite Modelo outselling its rival on a weekly basis since May. Anheuser-Busch has suffered from backlash from beer drinkers since Mulvaney posted to social media touting Bud Light in early April. Bud Light has tried to make amends by rolling out new advertising, but the effort appears to be too little for some, too late for some. Earlier this month, Anheuser-Busch's top marketing officer accepted an award for Creative Marketer of the Year at Cannes Lions, which is dubbed the Oscars of the advertising agency. I mean, sure. Then you get posts like this. New York Post, Bud Light offers free beer over the 4th of July in wake of the Dylan fiasco. So now they've given their Memorial Day. I always get it mixed up. The Memorial Day sales, is it Memorial? I think Memorial Day. Yeah, Memorial Day is the first one, and it was a complete disaster for Bud Light. Nobody cared. Free beer here. Bud Light touted a new $15 rebate during the 4th of July holiday weekend to jumpstart cratering sales after its disastrous partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. The nation's top beer seller was forced to resort to the giveaway gimmick as sales plunged another 28.5%, the largest dip yet for the week ending June 17th. The rebate applies to purchases up to $15 made between June 15th and July 8th, according to terms of service. That means the Bud Light is effectively giving away beer for free in areas where 15-packs sell for less than $15. Bud Light, well, what's a 15-pack? I've never even seen a 15-pack. It's just a 12-pack, right? Are 15-packs of beer a thing? I guess I don't buy a lot of beer, so I don't know. Bud Light will pay the rebate to customers in the way of a prepaid digital card, according to the brand. Now, by the way, the way these mail-in rebates work is their entire profit margin is in the people forgetting to mail it in, or not mailing it in properly, or using the correct, every little way they can not give you your money, they try not to. Now, the last time they did this, I mistakenly told people, well, yeah, go get your free beer. But then someone pointed out in the comments or maybe on Twitter that that's actually not the right thing to do, because what they're trying to do is artificially inflate their sales numbers so that so they can say, oh, see, the boycott's over. Look at all the beer we sold. The continuing decline of Bud Light, it puts Bud Light in jeopardy of losing its 2-decade status as America's top-selling beer. Well, they've already done that. Mulvaney's social media post ignited calls for backlash, which went viral on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, putting a dent in the brand's sales and causing the parent company to lose $20 billion in market value. Bud Light last week rolled out a new summer-themed ad in hopes of getting back into the good graces of beer drinkers, but that effort fell short for many Twitter users, still smarting over the branding partnership. I mean, I guess. I think that, the pain must continue. People, and when people are people are loyal to their beer. They are. They identify with it, and it's like going back to an old girlfriend. Like, I don't think people are ever going to come back. I just don't think they will. I think that they've moved on, and that's exactly what's going on with this. Why is Theo Vaughn? Okay. I was like, oh no. I noticed Theo Vaughn was trending, and I was like, oh no, what happened? Anyway, it's an interesting day of news. I've got a big announcement that I hope you'll share. It involves all of you. It should be the next video up. And leave a like on this one. And if you haven't yet subscribed, and score some coffee. We'll talk to you again real soon.